Yo, what it do? What's happening? What's up? What's good? So, this is my recap of the Moving Mastery Summit with Luis Massaro, day 1 and day 2. But before we hop into the video, first things first, shout out to all the subscribers. Really appreciate everybody that rocks with the channel, likes my videos, and subscribes. Y'all are dope. So day 1 recap of the Moving Mastery Summit. How did it go? Well, right off the bat, man, it was electric. The event is at a luxury hotel, a luxury resort. It's a beautiful resort. Lots of moving company owners, lots of people that want to level up their moving company. The environment was dope, really dope. The stage was in a big ballroom. Right off the bat, Luis was electric. He got got everybody off their feet. Everybody was active. Everybody was excited. He was able to hold that energy through most of the event. I tip my hat to Luis. He knows exactly what he's doing. He holds a presence on the stage, talking for hours and hours at a time in front of a group of people. It's very challenging, and a lot of people don't have the ability to be able to do that and keep everybody's attention. So, shout out to him. Just a beautiful hotel, an amazing conference hall, and it was just great being around so many other moving company owners. We're all there to figure out how to level up our moving company, how to make things better, how to implement new processes, and how to make more money. So before we dive into everything, I'm not going to specifically touch on exactly what Luis Massaro shared with us. I'm going to be a little bit more vague about some of the topics that he talked about, just to be able to protect this content and not violate any sort of copyright terms or conditions. But I'm going to give you guys a breakdown to some of the things that he talked about and that he shared with us. But before I do that, I just want to shout out Luis Massaro for hosting the event. I don't know if you're familiar with his background. He's operated a $20 million company. He's done local moves, long distance moves. He's done storage. He's a resilient entrepreneur. He's been through a lot of things. He was sued by the federal government. He was able to keep his business operating through the housing market crash in 2007. He's dealt with bankruptcy, and he's just resilient, man. He's able to continue to be a successful entrepreneur and to be resilient. And I got respect for anybody that's resilient and has the ability to bounce back from adversity. So, shout out Luis Massaro for putting on the event and doing his thing. He knows a lot about the moving industry. He mentors multi-million dollar moving company owners, so he knows his shit. So shout out Luis Massaro. So let's hop into this. Day 1, it was great being able to be around all these other moving company owners. I set out to network and meet other owners and have people to be able to relate with that understand all the same things that I'm going through as a moving company owner. And I was able to make some really solid connections, and I'm sure I'm going to be able to build relationships with these company owners down the road, which is dope. So I set out to network, and that's exactly what I did, and built some really solid connections with some people that I'll probably do business with in the future, which is great. So let's hop into the content side of things. So right away, Luis started talking about the ability to be able to adapt to market changes. If you have a moving company right now, or if you have a service business or any type of business, you understand that the economy is not what it was last year or 2 years ago. Most moving companies are down 30% in revenue. Less people are moving. The housing market is cooling down, especially in the Denver market where I'm from. Last year it was insane. Everybody was selling houses, everybody was moving. If I was in a different position last year with my moving company, then I could have capitalized on that, on where the economy was at, and made a lot more money. But I hadn't grown to a point and had the team or the trucks to be able to make money at that time. But he just talked about how important it was to be able to adapt to the changes in the market, just like he had to adapt in 2007 and 2008 when the housing market crashed. He talked about brand and offer, the brand of your business, and how important it is to be able to brand yourself and be able to offer your clients an awesome service, right? And how to present that to your clients, whether it's on your website or your social media. He talked about trust and design, the design of your website, the design of your marketing content, and how it's so important, and how it can build trust with your clients and convince your clients to want to work with you. He talked about the importance of landing pages for your business. And if you're going to be doing marketing, you need to have landing pages. He talked about leads and sales funnels. If you're an entrepreneur, you probably already know these things. It's pretty basic. But if you're not, you might want to start figuring out how you can generate more leads for your business and then funnel them into your sales system. You need to have a process for that. He talked a lot about processes, but didn't specifically break down the processes. That's something that I was looking for. I'm very familiar with a lot of the things that he talked about, so it was reassuring for him to bring them up, and I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's exactly where my head's at, right? But I was looking for the process, the play, like really break it down for me and dig into it for me. That's what I was looking for, and I didn't get too much of that. Unfortunately, but it was great because I felt like my head was exactly where it needs to be. He also talked about sales and conversions. He talked about employee engagement and why that's important. Your employees need to be engaged into the mission. They need to be engaged, right? It's just really important. He talked about playbooks and leadership. I'm sure you've seen my video on playbooks before and why they're important. SOPs, standard operating procedures. Everybody needs to be operating out of the same playbook. It's going to help with profitability. It's going to help with growth, and it's going to help develop culture in your company. So that's like the recap for day one. I was just hoping that they took a little bit more time to really like dig into these subjects versus just saying like, this is what you need to be doing and just leaving it at that. I was really expecting like, this is what you need to be doing and this is the play and the process that you need to implement to achieve that, right? I know there's only so many hours in a day. But for the first day, they spent a lot of time, promoting Lewis's, promoing the nonprofit that he donates a lot of money to. The nonprofit came up on stage for a really long time and talked about, really important stuff and how they're helping a lot of people. And I felt like that time could have been spent breaking down the processes, right? And how to implement those into your moving company. Was it dope that he brought the nonprofit up on stage? Yeah, absolutely, man. That's really dope. But he had a lot of people at the event that are taking time away from their moving company. That are there to level up, man, and they need the plays, right? They need the play, and we didn't necessarily get the plays that we needed day one. Day two was very similar. I was hyped for day two because he was going to talk about AI. I'm really big on AI. I use ChatGPT for pretty much everything. I use it for copy. I use it for analyzing contracts. I use it for comprehensive problem solving, just like problem solving any sort of issues that I have with the moving company. I'm using AI to create chatbots for my moving company and for my hustle. So I was really, really stoked for day two to talk about AI. Like, what are other moving companies doing in this space? What is Louis Massaro doing with AI? And how is he implementing it into his business, right? Really stoked for that. So let's just jump right into that. So as far as the AI, like Louis got up on stage and right away he opened up ChatGPT and he just like asked ChatGPT to write a story for his daughter. And, he's like, oh, this is really cool, right? Like, I could never write a story like this for my daughter. This is the power of ChatGPT. And he outlined some things that you could do with ChatGPT, right? Like help you develop your playbook, help you do projections, financial projections for your moving company, just all like really general concepts. Like I was really hoping that he'd really dig into it, like show us something that's not general. Show us something that give us a play, man. Like show us exactly what we need to do. Like anybody can just open up ChatGPT or Google or YouTube ChatGPT. How can I use ChatGPT for my business, right? Like anybody can do that, and you can do it for free. You can do it for free. And I was really hoping that they dig into it, and they didn't, and I was really bummed about that. But it was cool for him to be able to have that conversation and just shed light on the fact that AI isn't going anywhere, and the moving companies that do use AI are going to have a huge advantage over moving companies that don't. He did talk about AI bots and how important it is to be able to have an AI bot on your website. And to be able to have a bot on the back end of your business, right, for your employees. Think about all the times your employee calls you and asks you a very general question. Imagine if they had a bot in an app that they can just communicate with. Or all the times that your customer calls. Do you guys have a 2-hour minimum? Do you have a deposit fee? Do you guys provide protective materials? Like those conversations add up over time, and it can cost you a lot of money. You got to pay your employees to be able to have these conversations with your customers. So he talked about the importance of having these bots, but he didn't give us the play, right? He didn't give us the play and explain to us how to create these bots. Like I know how to create the bot. I've been going through a process over the last month to create my own AI bot for my business, and eventually I will share that entire process with you. I just wanted more, man. I wanted more out of the conference, out of the first 2 days. Day 3 is going on right now, and I'll probably only catch the second half of the day. I have some work and some things that I got to do. Could I have been there at 9 a.m.? Yes, I could have. But I'm just prioritizing some things, and I think it's a little bit more important for me to handle some of my business stuff. Could I put it on the back burner? Yes. And then handle it later? Yes. But yesterday just left a bad taste in my mouth. And here's why. So the entire event, Louis and his team are telling us, this is what you need to do to improve your moving company. Here's some of the things: brand and offer, leads and funnels, chatbots, landing pages. But they didn't give us the play or the process to be able to achieve those things. Like, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is exactly how we're doing it, and this is how you implement this into your business. But instead, they sold us. They put on a big presentation. They brought up all of the $1 million moving companies that Lewis has helped and who he continues to help and continues to mentor. They did their testimonies, and then he had a slideshow about all of the upcoming classes that we could buy to help us implement these processes into our business. I was like, oh, okay. So you want us to buy more classes and more courses to implement the processes? That's where the plays are at. The plays are not included in the event. This is what you should be doing, but we're not going to explain to you how to get there. I really appreciate like the energy and the community. The community is so dope. Like if I come back to an event, it's going to be for the community and it's going to be for networking. Like you're not going to find that value anywhere else. And I think that's what's a little bit different about Lewis's events than a lot of these other moving company events, like is the community and the network and just being around all the other moving company owners. Like that's the dopest part. That's the reason that I'd come back to one of his events. But man, I came here for the plays and the processes, baby. That's why I came. That's why I spent thousands of dollars to come out to Scottsdale, Arizona. The flight, the rental car, being away from my family, being away from my team. I could be back in Denver making money, right? I could be back in Denver recruiting and working on my junk removal service and my warehouse that I'm getting on Monday. Like I could be working on all those things, but I thought I'd come out here and learn some plays and some processes. And it turns out that I got to pay more. I got to put more money up to get the plays and the processes. So I'm bummed about that. We'll see if I make it to day 3, the second half of day 3, because I'm not going to the first half. I got some people that are inside. They're going to tell me all about the first half of day 3 and let me know if I really missed anything of value. But man, I'm just a little bit bummed. I thought that this was going to be more hands-on. Like I was really expecting more plays and more processes. So yeah, man, that's how day 1 and day 2 went. I don't want to knock anybody's hustle. That's not me. Shout out Louis Massaro and everything that he's doing for the community. I think that he is adding a lot of value to the community. He's going to help a lot more moving company owners, which is dope. It's important that we do have more people like that in the community. He's going to help these people, achieve their dreams and success. Like, so, shout out to him. He's one hell of a salesman. I'll give you that. Selling us on his nonprofit day 1. I think they generated almost $40,000 from all the attendees for the nonprofit, which is great, man. But then he sold us on more classes and more courses. I felt like that time could have spent really digging into the plays and the processes. That's why I was here. So a little bummed, man, a little bummed, but it is what it is. I'm going to try to just focus on the good, and the good that came out of the conference is the fact that I got the chance to be able to network with a lot of other moving company owners. So the community is dope. The community is really dope. Will I come back to an event? We'll see, man. Maybe I'll do one of the satellite events and see if these plays and processes are the real deal. We'll see. But yeah, man, so that was day 1 and day 2. Yeah, I got some things I got to do. We got the warehouse, 1,000 square foot warehouse that we're going to be leasing out. So I got to get everything prepped for that. We're going to be launching our thrift store out of there, and I got to figure out a way to be able to get some crates for storage, and we're going to be offering storage soon. So there's a lot of stuff that I got to do, that I got to take care of. So I'm going to work on that this morning, and then I'll catch the second half of the event in the afternoon. I'll let you guys know how that goes. Hope everybody's working hard, working smart, grinding, not sweating the small stuff. I got to go, baby. I got to go. Peace out. Peace.